Friday, March 1st, and I'm back in Algonquin Park for, at last, a winter camp. Both times I tried to make it up here earlier to camp. Weather, freeze, thaw cycles made it impossible. But it's finally happening, even though we're 2 degrees above zero, and we just suffered through a week of rain. But there's a base, and it's melting, but not underfoot, maybe further down. So I think we're gonna make it in okay on this ski trail. This weekend I'm joined by buddies Jordan and Dave. And Jordan's just ahead of me on the trail. He's already heading in. And Dave's coming later tonight at around 6 p.m. So we'll head down and pick him up from the parking area. We've got ourselves a bush site off the Sunday Leg Dog Trail that we've camped at previously. It's a good site, it's flat, it's sheltered, and it has a nice view. So we're gonna head along the trail and then veer off a few hundred meters into the bush and arrive upon our flat spot where we'll set up camp for 2 nights. Beautiful day so far, and I'm about halfway in from the parking area. And I'll tell you, it is hot and can't wait to get camp set up. Jordan's setting up a bonfire out on the ice so we don't start any root fires. And I've just finished setting up the tent back in the woods here in a place we've stayed at previously. And it's a good little spot, mostly flat, good tie-outs for the tent. And we've got a lovely view of the lake out behind us, or the pond swamp as it's called. And we're tucked in a little pine forest here. This is the view from the front of our tent. And looking forward to having a fire out in the open later tonight after Dave arrives. And Jordan's been working hard cutting up all that wood. Good work, Jordan. Yep. Well, I've just headed back out onto the Sunday Leg Dog Trail proper from our bush site. I'm heading back to the parking area to meet up with Dave, who'll be arriving for 6 p.m. Presently, it's around 5 p.m. or so, and we've got camp all set up. We have a fire going, so Jordan's going to stay back at the camp, keep an eye on the fire. I'm going to meet Dave. We're going to hike back in. We're going to eat some food, drink some drinks, light some fire, and have ourselves a great night. So that's the plan, and I'm going to head on and meet him now. How you making it there, Dave? How you making it?
Terrific, thank you. Keep them crossed?
Keep them crossed, yeah. Well, good morning. It is Saturday, and last night was a very early to bed for me. We had dinner just after Dave arrived last night, and we whipped it up over top of that massive bonfire that Jordan had built. And after that, it was bed for me. I was tired. You know, the first days of trips are always so tiring. The driving, the anticipation the night before, I just don't get a lot of sleep. So one of the benefits of going to bed early on the first night is that you get up early on the second day. So the guys are still crashed in the tent, and I have just headed back out to the Sunday Leg Dog Trail and done a walkabout. Well, we're coming up on mid-afternoon now, and we just finished a breakfast of bacon, eggs, English muffin, cheddar cheese, coffee. And so we've noticed our fire is getting a little low, so we're going to go grab some more wood and build up the fire. Not sure what we'll get up to for the rest of the day. I did some hiking this morning, but Dave's a little immobilized with his bad ribs, and Jordan's been doing hard work collecting all the wood, so I think he might be a little worn out. So good chance we're just going to stick around the campsite and enjoy the bird song at this campsite, which at times has been deafening. Haven't seen many birds except for one gray jay that came in very close, threatening to land on Jordan's hand, but then decided to fly off. But it's a beautiful spot. We're tucked in out of the way, and just taking in everything Algonquin has to offer in what is this very late winter trip.
How long is it? Pretty long.
Well, I've made my way down to the far end of the lake, and the boys are still back at the campfire. I can see them, specks in the distance, a little bit of smoke rising off the fire. But I've been just making my way along the shoreline of the lake and poking around to see if there's anything to photograph or wildlife. But one thing there is a lot of is bird song, and I'm hearing all kinds of birds I did not hear when I was up here a month or so ago for my last hike. So that tells me that summer is coming and that the birds are making the trek up to see us. Unfortunately, there's no real moving water at the moment or open water. That makes getting around easy, but it's nice to have a babbling brook just to get you excited for spring. But I guess all that will be coming in the next couple of weeks. As is so often the case with so many trips, there's always something you forget back in the car. And on this trip, it was an extra bottle of water. There's just not a water source near where we're camped to get water of any quality. So Dave and I are going to head back to the truck, pick up a few liters, and then make our way back. It's about half an hour, no big deal. And it's about 4 p.m. right now, so we just want to get it done before it gets too dark. Dave and I made it back to camp with the water, which we needed for Korean short ribs and coffee in the morning. We've just finished up dinner, and wow, we ate a lot. 9 big Korean short ribs between us, plus a couple of kebabs, plus rice, plus a little bit of wine after dinner. We've got a big fire going behind us, and we are just going to chill out until we feel like hitting the hay. Warmer tonight than it was last night, which is really lovely. But tomorrow we're going to wake up on the early side and then trek out mid-morning so we can grab breakfast along the way and hopefully not be slowed down too much in the midst of the incredible meltdown that's going on right now. Puddles all over the lake, getting a bit soupy back in the woods as well. So hopefully it will stay as a dry night and trekking on the way out tomorrow won't be too soupy of an experience. Anyway, that's probably it for tonight. We're going to sit around the fire and talk about old times. So that's the plan for now, and might see you later or catch you in the morning.
Isn't that fucking beautiful?
Well, that's exciting. A fox just ran up on us, literally within 5 feet of our campfire. Took a look at us and then headed on its way, but wow. How fun is that? Good morning. Sunday morning, around 7 a.m. Guys are still sleeping in the tent, but I got up and the conditions have changed substantially overnight. There is considerable ponding on the lake, and the snow underfoot has become very wet, very packing type snow, and a lot of it's disappeared. It feels like everything's just sort of melted down a bit. Anyway, hopefully trekking out today won't be too much of a challenge, but we should be okay on the dog sled trail, although this little bit along the lake here could be a little dodgy to get back on the trail, but we'll figure it out. We're going to skip breakfast this morning and just make our way out, and we'll probably grab something along the way back to the city. Around 8:30 and we are making our way back to the put-in. We had no trouble crossing the lake, but it was wet. We stayed close to shore. Now we're back on the dog trail proper, which is very crunchy and also very damp. So looks like we picked almost the perfect window to come out this week. Well, that's a wrap. We just made our way back to the parking area, and sledding wasn't too bad. It is wet though, and very steamy. I think today's supposed to be, I don't know, high single digits, and last night was probably 2 degrees or so, so things have had a lot of time to melt and sort of sink down. Anyway, that was a great trip with 2 guys who I don't see that often. Always great to spend time with them, and fantastic to welcome good buddy Dave out for his first winter camping trip. So that's it for now. We're going to start the long drive back to the city and stop for breakfast along the way. Thanks for coming along. We'll see you in the next one.